it that you cannot sleep and you cannot eat?
Hare Krishna. Oh, so but I was able to eat.
So there's no excuse. You got my point?
Yes, I got it, Prabhuji.
In going forward, there should not be any excuse, because this should, even though you have so many assignments you have to do, I think 1 hour, 2 hours is enough for this assignment. Any other person want to give excuse, please? Because there's no excuse. I want somebody to present now. Who is ready?
There's one for excuse.
Babananda, what do you say?
Prabhu, Prabhu, my phone, I'm having some problem on my phone, so I restart my phone. So maybe tomorrow I can present it.
No, we are hearing you. If you have it now, present it. Why must you wait for tomorrow?
Right now, dear, it cannot be possible right now. So I'm asking for apology.
Another excuse.
Yes. Give us.
Okay. I want somebody who is ready to go ahead. I don't want any more excuses now. No excuses now. So who has done it? Who have gone through it?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, they're not coming. Now I got somebody who wants to present. Please go ahead.
Okay. So you gave the summary of text 33 to 47. Excuse me. And you also gave some questions. So I'll be starting from the summary of the Bhagavad Gita.
Please do that. Go ahead.
32 to 47, I meant.
Okay.
So Lord Krishna had emphasized on the importance of self-control and discipline in the practice of yoga, and also on challenges that arises in controlling the mind and senses. It is very difficult to control the mind and senses. And also he emphasizes on perseverance and determination. So in the text, Krishna advises Arjuna to restrain his senses and focus his mind on the Supreme without distraction, warning that uncontrolled mind can be the worst enemy of one. So while a disciplined mind is a person's best friend, a devotee is able to achieve Krishna's prem with a disciplined mind. And he also explains detachment. Krishna asks Arjuna to be detached from material things. So in this way, one can attain inner peace and spiritual liberation.
Okay.
Yes. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Did I use my 3 minutes? Or less?
You have not used up to 3 minutes, but thank you very much. At least. Thank you for endeavoring and presenting. I really appreciate. Okay.
Thank you too. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, I was looking for, because I put some question in the group, which your second Jamasami put about the presentation. The question was, what is the benefit of devotional service? What happened to a person who is not successful in devotional service? What is the connection between Dhyana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga? Did you go through that?
Yes, Prabhuji, I went through that.
Okay, so now tell me, what is the benefit of devotional service?
The benefit of devotional service is to gradually elevate.
Now explain to Arjuna, somebody who is not successful.
Yes. Benefits of devotional service is to gradually elevate one from material condition of life to the spiritual abode, Krishna's realm, where the devotees become purified of all designations. And also, a person who is not successful in devotional service has to take birth again and again. See, he or she perfects his devotional service and will be able to go back home, back to Godhead. The third question was, what is the connection between Dhyana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga? Dhyana Yoga involves meditation, while Bhakti Yoga is the part of devotion. That's love towards Krishna. Dhyana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga both leads to the ultimate goal, and at the same time, it is different in its emphasis and approach. Dhyana Yoga is simply the part of knowledge and understanding, while Bhakti Yoga is a part of devotion and love.
Master, are you answering based on what you read in this chapter 6, or you are answering from your head?
The questions I'm answering from my head, but the summary I read.
I could detect that you are answering from your head, but not from chapter 6 of that numbers. Okay, thank you. Ali, thank you for endeavoring. Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
So, any other devotees want to answer the questions? I'll give you his own, our own presentation. Thank you, Jamastam. Any other devotee?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, Ananda Mohini. Ananda Mohini. Please go ahead.
Yes, you talk. Did you talk about summary? Because I heard the Jamasami talking about the summary before the three questions.
I asked you to summarize from test 33 to 47, and also I asked some specific questions. What is the benefit of devotional service? What happened to someone who is not successful in the practice in this life, and all those questions? You don't check your group. You didn't see the other Jamasami posted it in a group, no?
I saw the questions, but I didn't look at that summary. Maybe I skipped that when I was reading.
Answer the questions. Yeah.
Okay, if you talk about this summary, let me just try something. This chapter 6 start from the beginning.
No,
Krishna was.
I think from 33.
Okay, from the beginning. Yes, I know he said 33, but the beginning is like Krishna was talking. So from this 33, Arjuna was not answering Krishna based on what Krishna have told him about yoga. So Arjuna was emphasizing that it's not easy to control the mind. It's not easy to enter into this yoga system. It's not easy to practice yoga. Him looking at himself altogether, how can he just start sitting at a place and restrain himself? Now, also, Prabhupada explained in the purport, one of the purports, Arjuna in that 5,000 years ago, who faced this kind of dilemma of not being able, looking at himself, say he cannot be able to restrain his mind the way Krishna explained it. How much more in this Kali Yoga? So people, it's very, very difficult for one to enter into this yoga system of restraining the mind, entering into more meditation and all of that. That's what I can say for the summary. Now we will talk about the benefit of the devotional service. I read from text 41 and 42. 41 talk about the unsuccessful yoga after many, many years of enjoyment on the planet of pious living entity is born into a righteous family or into a family of rich aristocracy. So the benefit of taking into devotional service, one is to get Krishna Prem, and two is to go back to Godhead. And before one can also take into devotional service, that means one has some pious credits, which one has acquired from after some years of practice. That means the person have already engaged in some services that was beneficial, that made a person to take into devotional service. So that is a benefit one acquire for taking into devotional service. Also, if text 42 still explain or if unsuccessful after long practice, he takes birth in the family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly, such a birth is rare in this world. Yes, that's to say, for one to take this devotional service is not easy, but for a person to actually come into realization, to pick up devotional service and start serving the Lord, which requires one to put up all his mind, effort, and how do I put it? All his mind, his whole body, his whole system, just the way those 5,000 years ago, people used to practice yoga by going to the forest. Now, this time now, instead of forest, you come into the temple, into the devotional service to take up this service and start serving the Lord, knowing who you're serving, knowing that you're serving the Supreme Lord, knowing your duty to the Supreme Lord, and taking up that duty to give your service to the Lord, and at the end, to acquire Krishna Prem and also go back to Godhead. Then number two, you ask about what's happened to one who is not successful in devotional service. I got text from 38 to 40. 38, Arjuna was replying to Krishna when he said, "Oh, mighty arm Krishna, does not such a man who is bewildered from the path of transcendence fall away from both spiritual and material sources and perish like a raven cloud with no position in any sphere?" This is to say, it is not good when you have already started the journey and you just drop out. But this also replies to the back then people having this taking up yoga. Most times, most of them, because it takes years for one to actually get to become successful in yoga. Just to meditate is not easy. Most times, even in the Bhagavad Gita, we have heard stories where people take up to start doing that meditation, and at the end, maybe slightest thing, like there was a story of, please, I don't remember the name, but I remember the story. The man went into a river and he was meditating, and just to open his eyes, he saw two fishes, and he just run up and he went to the king that he want to take. Okay, thank you. You want to take wife. So this also happens now in devotional service. Many people, you see them getting so serious in devotional service, but at a later point of their devotional service, they drop, they lose. So in this, Arjuna was also asking Krishna, does not mean that that person fails in all phases of life, both spiritual and material. But Prabhupada also made us to understand in the purport that though the person fall, but because the person have taken into devotional service, the person has some credit. Likewise, what we explained at the number one question, the number one answer, that little credit have given a person some, that little service have given the devotee a little pious.
Now.
Okay, giving the person a little credit to come back again. So what happened to a person when he's unsuccessful in devotional service is to come back to life. Keep on repeating birth and death until the person is able to take up devotional service. Then the last one, you talk about Dhyana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga.
No, let's leave that one. Let's leave that one for another day. Thank you. You have done more than enough. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Krishna, I'm able to explain. No, it's not much.
I really appreciate that at least you come out to explain what you have understand, because I believe that unless devotees understand the scripture, we cannot practice properly, because there is a connection between understanding and practice. You don't practice what you don't understand. You don't do what you don't understand. Nobody can force you to do what you don't understand. It's a subconscious thing, how you act on us. When you understand something, nobody will force you. Naturally, you will do it. So understanding the scripture is very, very important, because naturally, we'll be able to apply it into our life if we understand. So giving all this assignment is for us to study and try to bring out, and when we ask you to give presentation, I want to see your understanding, because if you don't understand it, you cannot practice properly. Okay, thank you. Anyone else the bodies want to contribute something? Valalila Prabhu, are you there? Did you do the assignment? Valalila Prabhu, can you hear me? It's like Valalila Prabhu is not hearing me. If your network is strong, you should on your camera. This one that everybody is hiding behind camera, and we are talking, nobody seems to be hearing. On your camera, let me see you. At least if you're not speaking, if you're not speaking, your network also, you don't need so much strong network. Yeah, Stephen Govinda, before you used to on your camera, now you started hiding behind camera. What is going on? Yes, let's on our camera so that we can see ourselves. Now it's more interactive. Why do we want to be impersonal? It's not good to be impersonal. Let us be personal. Let's see ourselves, okay? Stephen Govinda, you have your camera again. Don't off it again. Leave it on like this, since you can hear me. Because it's easier for you to hide behind camera and be eating and not focusing here until we think that you are hearing us. Or you just leave the phone there and you go and lie down on your bed and somebody will think that you are listening. You see, the technology is make life very easy. Also, it can make us also to be very, to be able to do something else. So let us on our camera, please. Let us on our camera. As long as you have a good network. When you don't want to speak, when you are not speaking, at least on your camera. If your network is not strong and you want to speak, you can off your camera. Yeah, Balalila Prabhu, what happened? Now we can hear you because your camera is on.
My network was disturbing.
Is that?
My network was disturbing.
Okay. I think you are permitted to off your camera because your network is
my network was disturbing. Hello?
Yeah, I understand. But the thing that is here is that when we call you, when we talk, at least on your mic and speak to know that you are with us. Then we will know that you are very close to your phone.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, it was the network.
Yeah, now we know that you're very close to your phone now. Even the network is there, at least we can hear your voice. Yes, let's continue.
Prabhu, in fact, I was not able to do my assignment because I traveled somewhere.
Okay.
And I was engaged, so I'm very sorry. But I think I will make it another time.
I understand. It's okay. See, the thing that is there is that there is no excuse for not really doing the assignment. You can give your excuse, I'm okay, but there is no excuse.
It's true.
Because it's 1 week. One good week.
Yes.
So in that 1 week, at least you can find
I don't want to put devotees to
at least in that 1 week,
yes,
we can find 1 day to sit down and really scrutinizingly studying the assignment. Okay, so we will not spend so much time on this. Yeah, we'll not spend so much time on this. I'm going to give another assignment today. Okay. I want to see for tomorrow. There's no excuse now.
Okay, problem.
Yeah, tomorrow
okay,
is
problem.
Because this book, you just need 1 hour to go through it and pick something from it. So from tomorrow,
Okay.
tomorrow we are going to give presentation on what happens to an unsuccessful yogi.
Okay. Okay.
So that is going to be our presentation, 3 minutes. What happened to an unsuccessful yogi? And we should give at least 3 minutes presentation, okay, based on what
Okay.
the conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. 3 minutes. There's no any excuse tomorrow. Tomorrow, before we start, we are going to do
I'm
that.
very, very sorry.
So
I'm very, very sorry for that.
after today, we should take 1 hour to do that assignment. There's no excuse for tomorrow, okay? So approval, Prabhu, what do you have to say? Please go ahead. Your answer is up.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Jai Prabhu. Yeah, you want to answer the question?
Thank you for coming to rescue our wonderful program.
Yeah, you're
You
welcome.
came on board. We are like not really meeting up, either network or stuff like that. So thank you for being on board.
You're welcome.
And what I want, I just came in late because of other issue, but I heard when you were talking of a presentation. Actually, I have something to present based on the assignment given. And maybe is it deferred tomorrow? So can
No. Those who are giving excuses are the one that we give tomorrow. Some have already given today. They are not going to escape it. They will give. So I've just referred to I want it tomorrow. So they are going to give, because see, like what I'm saying, I can easily open the book, read, we talk, you go. Okay? But if you read it yourself and you try to explain to me, that will tell me your understanding. How do you understand what you are reading? That is what I want to see. Because if we don't understand, we cannot apply and we cannot preach it to others. So understanding is equal to personal application and preaching application. Okay? Yes, go ahead. Approval. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu, for the opportunity. We were given 3 items to summarize and present. The first one is a benefit of devotional service based on the text. I think, and then the second one is what happens to the unsuccessful yogi. And then the third one is devotional service and Dhyan yoga. So I take the first one, the benefit of devotional service, the summary of it, the way I understand it. First and foremost, it enables us, devotional service enables us, one, to know Krishna as a person. Because devotional service makes one to approach the Krishna as a person, of course, supreme person. But other services, other yogi practices, they cannot give this kind of opportunity. So number one is enables one to know Krishna as a person, as a supreme person. The number two is it enables one to attain happiness. That is the original happiness. But when one knows Krishna, knowing Krishna means Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. Krishna is the supreme master. We don't have anything. So when one knows Krishna on that platform, automatically he attains happiness. Just like somebody knows that this is my boss is owner of this company or this gigantic estate, so my duty is just to serve him. There's no competition. I only come to render service. So whatever he gives me, either as salary or as stipend or as appreciation, I have no option than to take it humbly and go. So in that condition, the person is eternally happy because he's not hoping one day that he will become a master of that estate. Otherwise, he will fall down. The master will throw him away. So total happiness means when one understands that originally he is meant to serve Krishna. So he's very happy. Whether Krishna is taking him up or taking him down, killing him or giving him wonderful benediction, that's not the cause. Because the person's concern is, I am happy because I have come back home. to do the thing. Then the third one I got is it equips one to distribute the holy name of Krishna. Because when one knows all this, then the next thing is how can I help other people? How can I distribute this gem, the precious knowledge I have got, the realization I have got that makes me to know Krishna as a person, supreme person, and that makes me to understand that I am meant to serve, and that service I'm rendering makes me happy. Then, because
you have 2
of
minutes
that,
more to round up your presentation.
Because of that, the person is automatically trying to, give the knowledge to other people, and also this is suitable for Kali Yuga. The devotional service is only meant for Kali Yuga because other services cannot be approached in our age. Now, the unsuccessful yogi, previously, his previous activities are not forgotten in any way. Then at least, or at most anyway, he gets a human form of a body. He will not be degenerate. He will not attain in other forms of body like animal body and tree plant body. So that enables him to continue. Again, because of that, his previous yogi practices, at least he will attain, he will have the intelligence to be educated, to be born in a very rich or aristocratic family, or to be born in a Brahmana family. These are opportunities that will help the person to really start, devotional life, because he failed to attain perfection in the previous life. Also, the person we were meant to understand that the person will be strong, beautiful, and opulent. Out of these conditions, the person will attain it when he did not make it successful in the life and in his former life. And again, the whole thing becomes auspicious. Whatever he attains, no matter how little, Krishna says somewhere that a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Now, the fear of birth, death, old age, and disease, at least he will not be degenerated. He will continue to strive in the next life. The unsuccessful yogi. And then the third item there is devotional service and Dhyan yoga. This one is talking about all the other yogi practices from beginning to end. They are all rather stepping stone, preparing one to come to the platform of devotional service. Because you have to be learned, you have to be inquisitive, you have to be doubtful. And all these have been taken care of through the other aspects of devotional, yogi practices. So it's only after that a mature soul will attain a life that will enable him to come to devotional service. Devotional service is like the summary of education, like the university or postgraduate of the spiritual activity. Without having gone through other yoga practices, there's nobody that can come to devotional service immediately. And then they're like Kama Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, and Co. They're all preparing us to come to this platform. And then
I think this is if you wish.
Yeah, this is the only thing I've gotten so far. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much for the presentation also. We really appreciate. We want devotee to take up seriously the presentation. Whenever I'm giving this kind of program, I always encourage, when I give assignment, I always encourage devotee to take it very serious, because that will build up your presentation skills. Because as a devotee, how we preaching application is very, very important also. So when you go and do the assignment, as you are doing the assignment, you pick out quotes. And when you are giving the presentation, you should make reference to these quotes. That will give more weight to your presentation. Okay? Okay. In Bhagavad Gita 2:40, Krishna say, Neabrikramona sosti. So whenever we give this a kind of assignment, please take it seriously, because that will build your preaching application, okay? And the more you understand, when you study also, when you understand what you are studying and you're able to present it, it will enhance your personal application. Because if you don't understand something, we cannot apply it. So thank you very much, Prabhu. I really appreciate for you taking your time to go through. But I will still want tomorrow, if possible, we should still give more. I want us to, let me give another assignment now. In test 47 and test 46 and 47, I want you to explain, to me these two verses, 46 and 47. And when you are explaining it, you can make references to whatever scripture that is going to support your explanation, okay? So 46 and 47, I want more explanation on that tomorrow, okay? So let's continue. Let's start today because we have 1 hour now. I was preparing to give you 1 hour to give presentation to me, so that now we can spend the remaining 1 hour studying together, okay? So now we are going to go through the tests and the purport together. So we are continuing from 33, isn't it? Or is it 32? Where did we stop?
33.
Start from 32, Pablo.
32.
32, thank you. Okay. Okay. Atma upayena sarvatra samam pashyati yojuna sukam vayadiva dukam sayogi paramo mataha. You know, these Sanskrit, they are very sweet. So we should learn to recite them very sweetly also. Atma payena sarvatra samam pashyati yojuna sukham vayadiva dukam sayogi paramam mataha. So translation, is a perfect yogi who, by comparison to his own self, sees the true equality of all beings in both their happiness and their distress, O Arjuna. So what do you understand in this test before we go into the purport? Let's see your understanding, then we cannot hear what Prabhupada is saying. Want to speak? Want to speak fast? Yes.
Hare Krishna, yes, I would like to try.
Yeah, try.
Yes, Prabhu. So in this verse, it is to explain that as a devotee, you see beyond the body. So you see you are able to realize the condition in the animal life and in the human life, the disabled, the rich, the poor. You are able to see what is beyond the physical, and that you know whether someone is a happy person or someone is bewildered or someone is distressed.
You got it right in the beginning, but this towards this end now you are missing it up.
Yes, Prabhu.
You're on the right track, but now you are missing it up.
In addition,
yeah, add to it. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah. In addition, the living entity, the cause of his unhappiness is forgetfulness of Krishna, and the cause of the unhappiness of other living entities as well. Based on his own experience as a true yogi, is still the forgetfulness of Krishna. And when one knows Krishna in truth, then he has already attained that happiness that every spirit soul is hankering after.
No. Sorry for saying that. That is not what Krishna is saying here. I'm talking about the
problem.
Yes, please go ahead.
Should I try?
Yeah, try.
Should I try?
Yes.
Yeah, Krishna is trying to explain. A person who has come to realization, like a pure devotee, he sees the super soul in everybody. He does not see anything. He does not see the body. He does not see the flesh. He sees the super soul in a person.
No, not only the super soul.
And he's not shaken whether there is happiness.
Yeah, you try. He sees the soul. He sees the soul. Not only the super
see the soul. Yeah, you see the soul in it. Yes, you see the soul. See that everywhere in all human. And he's not shaken by any distress or happiness. He maintains equilibrium in everything, in all circumstances. He's not shaken. His mind is not with that.
You already answered it now. I think let's leave it there. Thank you. You have already answered it. Because the more you continue to speak, the more you will go out from the point. Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. In this verse, okay, I can see that there is a matter of equanimity.
Okay.
That, yes, if you are at a certain level, you are a true yogi, so you'll be equal when you are in happiness or in distress. That's the way I understand it. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Thank you for trying. So let's read the verse again. He is a perfect yogi. So Krishna continued the description of one who have attained self-realization. This is what is going on here. Krishna is continuing the description of the quality of one who have attained self-realization. He's saying, he is a perfect yogi. By comparison to his own self, sees the true equanimity of all beings in both their happiness and their distress, O Arjuna. By comparing to his own self, sees the true equanimity of all beings in both their happiness and their distress, O Arjuna. Now, I'm very sure you people have already understood after reading it many times. So he already realized the super soul and the soul in his heart. Okay? Now he can see that in all beings. Like we discussed last week, there are two realizations. There's realization through knowledge, and there's realization, self-realization by realizing the super soul himself. If you open to Bhagavad Gita 5:18, Krishna there was describing the realization through knowledge. And in chapter 6:28, where Krishna talk about the yogi, 1 minute. 2:29, sorry. So in 5:18, who wants to read? Please open fast and read. Krishna describes here the realization through knowledge, by cultivating knowledge, how a pandita, one who is knowledgeable, see the super soul and the soul in all beings. But in this chapter 6:29, Krishna is talking about how a yogi who have realized the super soul, this one is not by knowledge now, it's through practice and realization. He can see the super soul and the soul in all beings.
Hare Krishna. 5:18.
Yeah.
The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and a gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater. Outcome.
Yes, by virtue of what? By virtue of what?
No, true knowledge.
By virtue of true knowledge. That is why it's called Pandita Samadarshina. Because he has read the scripture, he has studied very scrutinizedly. So he's applying that knowledge. Pandita Samadarshina. But in text 29, 6:29, let's read again. Let's come back. Just trying to refresh our memory before we continue.
29. A true yoga, or true yogi, observe me in all being and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same supreme Lord everywhere.
This realization now, not true knowledge, is through practice and self-realization. He has seen, because if you look before now, Krishna already mentioned how the person enter. If you look at text 20 to 23, it is mentioned there how the person already enter into samadhi and he has realized the super soul, you know, all those things. So he's already self-realized. Yeah. So Krishna continue that description. Okay. So that is the difference. But here in 32 is the same thing. Krishna is continuing to describe the characteristic of one who have realized the soul, the super soul in the heart. So now let's go to the purport. Who wants to read the first paragraph? Yes, please read.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
So the purpose of the chapter 30, text 32 of Bhagavad Gita chapter 6.
Please go ahead. Yes, go ahead. We are with you.
Yeah. One who is Krishna conscious is a perfect yogi. He is aware of everyone's happiness and distress by dint of his own personal experience. The cause of the distress of a living entity is forgetfulness of his relationship with God. And the cause of happiness is knowing Krishna to be the supreme enjoyer of all the activities of human beings, the proprietor of all lands and planets, and the sincerest friend of all living entities.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. This is what Apuba Prabhu was saying that time. Yes, I think Prabhu was saying from the purport. So I was asking based on the test. Prabhu, are you hearing me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, I was
asking. I'm hearing you.
Yes, I was asking based on the test, but you were reading the purport. I want us to focus on the test first before going through Prabhupada's purport.
Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So continuation. The perfect yogi knows that the living being who is conditioned by the modes of material nature is subjected to the threefold material miseries due to forgetfulness of his relationship with Krishna. And because one in Krishna consciousness is happy, he tries to distribute the knowledge of Krishna everywhere. Since the perfect yogi tries to broadcast the importance of becoming Krishna conscious, he is the best philanthropist in the world, and he is the dearest servitor of the Lord. Nacha tasman manu yasu kasin mi priya kritmaha. Bhagavad Gita 1869. In other words, a devotee of the Lord always looks to the welfare of all living entities. And in this way, he is factually the friend of everyone. He is the best yogi because he does not desire perfection in yogi for his personal benefit, but tries for others also. He does not envy his fellow living entities. He is a contrast between a pure
contrast between pure devotee. Here is a contrast.
Yeah. Okay. Here is a contrast between a pure devotee of the Lord and a yogi interested only in the personal elevation. The yogi who has withdrawn to a secluded place in order to meditate perfectly may not be as perfect as a devotee who is trying his best to turn every man towards Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for reading this purport. See, Prabhupada, that is why Srila Prabhupada's purport or Prabhupada translation of Bhagavad Gita made so many devotees. Before Prabhupada went to the West, there was no devotees of Krishna. There was many people practicing yoga here and there, but pure devotee of Krishna, no. Prabhupada. Because here, even though in the verse, Krishna is talking about a yogi, because this chapter is talking about meditation, meditative yogi. But in every of the purport, you see, Prabhupada is trying to, Put Krishna everywhere, a devotional service, devotee. And in this particular purport, Prabhupada is talking about preaching application. How a devotee should preach. Because why? A devotee understands that we are all suffering in this material world. So we should preach. He has realized that there's suffering. But truly, that is a pure devotee of the Lord. Because many of us, we have not realized that there's suffering in this material world. We still want to taste that. We are still thinking that there's some enjoyment somewhere that we have not experienced. Maybe we have to try harder. Some of us are still thinking. But actually, a pure devotee of the Lord, I've realized that there's no enjoyment anywhere in the material world, because Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Dukalayam Ashashvatam. Here, the material world is full of misery. There is no enjoyment. So a pure devotee have full realization of this. So he has no doubt. So he can see that every living entity is suffering. Every living entity is suffering in this material world. So he truly wants to preach to liberate them from this suffering. Okay? So let's go now. After Krishna finished explaining all this to Arjuna about the state, how to practice dhyana yoga. Actually, Krishna is explaining about dhyana yoga meditation. What happened after the meditation? How the person who on that meditation realize the super soul in the heart, what his activities are, and all the different level of how he can see the souls, the super soul everywhere. How he's very dear to the Lord. How he becomes very dear to God. Krishna have explained all these things to Arjuna. Now Arjuna is going to ask question. Arjuna uvacha yoyam yoga yoya propta samyena madhusudana itasyam na pashyami chanchalatvam stiram. So Arjuna said, O Madhusudana, the system of yoga which you have summarized appear impractical, unendurable to me, for the mind is restless and unsteady. Okay? Krishna have explained dhyana yoga to Arjuna. Dhyana yoga means meditation. Krishna in the beginning says, you put a seat somewhere, you should not be too high, you should not be too low, you should put a desk in there, you sit on it like this, straight like this, focus your mind on your nose, and you try to. So he explained all this. This is dhyana yoga, how to meditate. Krishna is explaining in chapter 6. Okay, and he explained how the person is going to trance by controlling his mind, controlling this, becoming a brahmachari and all. He has finished explaining this. So everything about dhyana yoga is controlling the mind. So now Arjuna is asking question. This thing that you have explained to me, Krishna, appear impractical. Why is Arjuna saying it's impractical? Because Arjuna is a very active man like all of us. Okay? Arjuna is a warrior. He's a warrior. He's a very active man. A warrior cannot go and sit down one place and just say you want to focus. No. In the beginning, Krishna told him, Arjuna, you cannot leave this battle because you're a warrior. You will go into the forest, you will not be able to sit peacefully to meditate, even though you are talking about renunciation. Okay? So now Arjuna is telling Krishna, now you have explained dhyana yoga to me. It's impractical because I cannot control. My mind is restless and unsteady. Okay? So let's go to the purport. Please, read.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, go ahead, Prabhu.
Okay, purport. The system of mysticism described by Lord Krishna to Arjuna, beginning with the words Suchal Desha and ending with Yogi Paramaha.
But wait. One tip, Prabhu. Let us go back to see where Krishna started that meditation. Because
okay.
this 32 now is the end. Yogi Parama. But Krishna started from somewhere, which is social dosha, how you put your seat on the ground. And that, what test is that?
Okay.
That is from 11:12. Okay? from chapter 11, 6, text 11 to 12. That is the beginning. Where Krishna says, to practice yoga, you should go to the secluded place. You should put a kusha grass on the ground and then cover it with the deer skin. So that is the beginning. And now, after Krishna has already explained all that to the point where the person becomes self-realized, realize the super soul, to this point now, how he sees all the living entity based on how he comparing to himself, which is yoga parama. That is the beginning to the end of the dhyana yoga Krishna explained to Arjuna. So that is what Prabhupada is commenting on. Please go ahead. I just want to bring our mind so that we can be able to follow the
follow up.
Yes, how Krishna, how Prabhupada is connecting it.
So is rejected by Arjuna out of feeling of inability. It is not possible for an ordinary man to leave home and go to a secluded place in the mountains or jungles to practice yoga in this Kali Yuga. The present age is characterized by a bitter struggle for a life of short duration. People are not serious about self-realization, and even by simple practical means, and what to speak of this difficult yoga system, which regulates the mode of living, the manner of sitting, selection of place, and detachment of the mind from material engagements. As a practical man, Arjuna thought it was impossible to follow this system of yoga, even though he was favorably endowed in many ways. He belonged to the royal family and was highly elevated in terms of numerous qualities. He was a great warrior. He had great longevity, and above all, he was the most intimate friend of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 5,000 years ago, Arjuna had so much better facilities than we do now. Yet, he refused to accept this system of yoga. In fact, we do not find any record in history of his practicing it at any time. Therefore, this system must be considered greatly impossible in this age of Kali. Of course, it may be possible for some very few rare men, but for the people in general, it is an impossible proposal. If this were so 5,000 years ago, then what of the present age? Those who are imitating this yoga system in different so-called schools and societies, although complacent, are certainly wasting their time. They are completely in ignorance of the desired goal. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much. I remember one time one devotee was giving lecture. So he was saying that there was one Prabhu in Nigeria. This happened in Nigeria. So I think maybe, I don't know, maybe Chaitanya Prema Prabhu will know. Chaitanya Prema Prabhu is there. He's a very, very senior devotee. So they know what happened in the beginning. So this devotee was giving an example, and he was mentioning that there was one Prabhu. So he was feeling disturbed about the devotee activity. So he decided to follow what Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita of going to the forest. He said, oh, this devotee's trouble is too much. I'm going to forest. I want to go and meditate. So he left everything and he went to the forest thinking he wants to go and meditate. But late in the night, they had the door knocking. It was knocking the door. They opened it. Oh, Prabhuji, you say you are going to forest to meditate. What are you doing? Because after going to the forest, at night, he could not tolerate all the different noises in the forest.
He was lucky lion didn't visit him.
He became scared. So to actually go to the forest and meditate, although we are hearing it here, it's not easy. Because immediately you hear the cry, your mind will go there. you hear father cry, your mind will go there. You become scared. You cannot even sit under a tree. You'll be trying to climb the tree and hide because you'll be scared. So actually to practice yoga in a seclusion in the forest is not very easy. That is why Arjuna is saying here that Krishna, it's not practical. You cannot go to the forest. Even though Arjuna is a Kshatriya warrior, he can kill, he can keep his arrow with him, his bow and arrow, and kill any animal or whatever want to disturb him. But still, he says it's impractical for him. So if Arjuna is impractical, like Prabhupada is explaining in the purport, talk less of us in this Kali Yoga. Our mind is so disturbed. Manda Sumanda Matayo, Manda Bhagya, Upadritaha. We are very unfortunate, unlucky. Our mind is always disturbed. To talk of us. Yeah, I saw one organization, they're talking about meditation. And when I listen to what they call meditation, I smile. I thank Krishna. I say, Krishna, thank you for giving me Prabhupada's movement. Because what they call meditation is completely just focusing on the body. You know? But in Krishna consciousness, we are really taught remeditation, always thinking about Krishna, how to serve Krishna, how to spread the message of Krishna, how to, please our guru. This meditation, they are very wonderful. Like, for example, those people who are very close to the temple. From when you wake up 4 a.m. in the morning till the Bhagavatam class, deep meditation. That if you are following the temple, if you don't go back to sleep. If you don't go back to sleep in between, then you are already in deep meditation for many hours. Because if you calculate from 4 o'clock, you wake up, you're trying to chant your rounds, then you go to the temple program. Then after the temple program, you sit down to do your japa. Then from there, you go for any service you're asked to do. Then you come and sit down for Bhagavatam. What meditation can be higher than that? There's no any meditation that can be higher than that, focusing on Krishna. That is the highest meditation, devotional service. So if you try to do this, you're already practicing meditation. Not the one of going to the forest. Arjuna knows, and that is why he's telling us it's very difficult. But Prabhupada, Krishna has made it very easy for us. In the way Prabhupada presented it, how to meditate. So let's continue to hear about what Arjuna needs to talk about the mind. Why we cannot follow this kind of meditation Krishna presented here. Arjuna continued by describing the mind. 34. Sachala imana Krishna pramati balavadridam tasyam nigraham maye vayoriva sudushkaram. For the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, very strong, O Krishna. And to subdue it, I think it's more difficult than controlling the wind. Let us be attentive to Arjuna's statement here. For the mind is restless. We all know this. We have experienced it. We don't need anybody to tell us how restless our mind is. If you want to know how our mind is restless, go and see a child. Children, because children, they don't know how to hide their mind at that young age. So we can see full mind in display. He wants to grab this, he wants to grab that, he wants to be there, he wants to do this. That is my full mind in display. When we become adults, we hide it. Our mind is telling us this. We don't want people to know what our mind is talking. We're hiding, we're thinking, and we're going here. So we're always covering up as an adult. But when you see children, you can see pure mind display. Pure mind. Grabbing here, going there, doing that. You as a parent also is like, oh, sit down here. And immediately put the child there. Before you know, the child is already going to, because that is the pure mind display. That time, the children, child has no control over the mind. It's only when we start growing up, then we start controlling it. We start understanding, no, I should not just do this. This is not good for me. It's not good for my parents will not be happy. When we are growing up, we start considering all this. But when we are children, no consideration. So turbulent, very turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. See, this is very, very strong words. Use. Let us go to dictionary. What is the meaning of turbulent? Who can open a dictionary there? Just open it very fast. Let us see the meaning of the strong word that Arjuna has used for our mind, so that we can know what we are dealing with. Turbulent. Who have seen it?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, please go ahead.
It means being in or causing disturbance or unrest.
That's right. You see?
Hey.
Our mind is turbulent, always causing disturbance. Okay? Obstinate. Let's go to obstinate. Who have seen that?
Stubbornly adhering to an opinion or purpose or cause, usually with implied unreasonableness.
You see the strong word that Arjuna is saying, using for the mind? Very restless. Restless means he cannot focus on one thing for long. He's jumping here, jumping there, jumping there. Then turbulence, always disturbing us. We are not at peace. If you are sitting down to chant, he said, no, go and sleep. Your mind will tell you to go and sleep. He said, just go and sleep small now. when you're in Bhagavatam class, just sleep small, then the sleep will be disturbing you. The mind will not want to listen to Bhagavatam. Obstinate. So this is a very strong. Not only, it's not easy, very strong. So now Arjuna is saying something here which we should take note of. He said, I think it's more difficult than controlling the wind. Why will Arjuna say controlling the mind is more difficult than controlling a wind? Why will Arjuna say that? It's easy for Arjuna to say that because Arjuna, by dint of his prowess, he can control a wind using his arrow. Okay? So Arjuna can use the arrow, chanting mantra, and control a wind. But he's saying here that for him, it's easier controlling a wind for him than controlling his mind. If Arjuna, who is very close to Krishna, very spiritually advanced, giving us clue of how the mind is very difficult, we should just understand what is in there for us. So we have to be very careful of this, our mind. Let's go into Prabhupada's purport. Who is reading be fast?
Someone should read now.
Hare Krishna. The mind is so strong and obstinate that it sometimes overcomes the intelligence. Although the mind is supposed to be subservient to the intelligence. For a man in the practical world who has to fight so many opposing elements, it is certainly very difficult to control the mind. Artificially, one may establish a mental equilibrium towards both friends and enemy, but ultimately, no worldly man can do so, for this is more difficult than controlling the raging wind. In the Vedic literature, Kanta Upanishad 1:3-4, it said, Otamana Rathina Vide Sanaram Ratha Evancha Buddhintva Samakin Vide Mana Prograham Evacha Indrayena
I am how Vijaya Yamte Shugo Taram Yamano Yukam Yake Hauma Manisina.
Thank you. The individual is the passenger in the car of the material body, and intelligence is the driver. Mind is the driving instrument, and the senses are the horses. The self is thus the enjoyer or the sufferer in the association of the mind and senses. So it is understood by great thinkers. Intelligence is supposed to direct the mind, but the mind is so strong and obstinate that it often overcomes even one's own intelligence. As an acute infection may surpass the efficiency of medicine, such a strong mind is supposed to be controlled by the practice of yoga. But such practice is never practical for a worldly person like Arjuna. And what can we say of modern man? The smile used here is appropriate. The smile, okay, the simile used here is appropriate. One cannot capture the blowing wind, and it is even more difficult to capture the turbulent mind. The easiest way to control the mind is suggested by Lord Chaitanya to his chanting Hare Krishna, the great mantra for deliverance in all humanity. This method prescribed is Savya Mana Krishna Pada Rav. One must engage one's mind fully in Krishna. Only then will there remain no other engagement to agitate the mind.
Thank you very much. So here you can see from Prabhupada's purport how we are supposed to control our mind with our intelligence, but sometimes our mind overpowers our intelligence. How do you know that? Sometimes we will do something, then later you realize that this thing you have done is bad. You start regretting, you start lamenting. Because now your intelligence will tell you that this thing you have done is not good. Okay? Or people will start criticizing you. People will start, oh, why do you do this now? It's not good now. You are supposed to be mature now. Why do you do this? Because you didn't make proper use of your intelligence. Okay? So how do we strengthen our intelligence so that our mind will not always overcome the intelligence? What we are doing now, that is one of it, studying the scripture. At least we are aware of the mind, the strength of the mind, what the mind can do. So now at least we are gathering this knowledge. It's very, very important. And the most important thing Prabhupada gave in the purport is that by practicing devotional service, chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, Cheto Darpana Marjana, Baba Mahadava Agnini Varpanam. The chanting of Hare Krishna mantra is very, very powerful. Everybody can testify to it. Many of us can give testimony. It's only in ISKCON we don't do testimony like in the churches. You know? If not, the devotee will come out and give testimony of how chanting has helped their life, have transformed their life, have changed their bad character into becoming a good person. Many, many testimony every year and there in the world. So the chanting is very, very efficient and effective. So that is why as a devotee, we have to take our chanting very serious, because if we really want to control our mind, like Prabhupada is saying in purport, the only way is the way Chaitanya Prabhu has given us, chanting the holy name of Krishna. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way. 3 times it's mentioned. Only the holy name, the holy name, the holy name, especially in this age of Kali. So we should, as a devotee, we should take the chanting of the holy name very seriously. We should be very attentive when we are chanting. We should be very, very attentive. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When we are chanting, we should be we should be feeling the beats we are counting. When we are on the beat, as we are holding the beat, we should feel the beat. It's like massaging the feet of Krishna. You feel the beat, you listen to the mantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That is how, is the easiest way to control the mind. Just listen to the sound vibration and feel the beats with your finger. Don't let your mind run here and there. Don't let your mind. Some devotees, when they are chanting, they are not focusing their mind. And you start hearing all kinds of sound. Machi gun chanting. You don't know whether they are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra or they are chanting something else. No. You have to focus on the chanting. Feel the beats. Feel the beats with your fingers. You feel the beats, the beat, you feel it. And listen to the sound. As you are chanting it, feel the beat as you are called beat. Sometimes bring the mind back and consciously count the beat as you are chanting. This is the easiest way to control the mind. Every other way is not very, very practical for the mind. Chaitanya Prabhu has given us the easiest way, and Srila Prabhupada has made it even more easier for us. So we should understand the mercy, the costless mercy of Krishna, Chaitanya Prabhu, and Srila Prabhupada on us to help us in this age. Because if not, oh my God, the mind is enough to make you. The mind is enough to make you commit suicide. You see people, their mind will give them so much trouble, frustration, engage them, and make them think that there's no more way out. And such people, what we start thinking, the next is to start thinking of how to end the body. That is how the mind can make human being miserable. You make people so miserable that they see no way out. So, but by this chanting, we can purify the mind. We can overcome all challenges because we are taking shelter of Krishna. Okay? So let's go to the next one. So Krishna here in the next verse is giving hope to Arjuna. Arjuna already is thinking that there's no hope. That this man is very difficult. Krishna, I don't think there's a way that we can do this meditation. But Krishna is giving hope to Arjuna in the next verse. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Samsaya Mahabhavu Manoduni Graham Chalam Abhyasena te Kaunteya Vairagena Chavgriyate. Okay? Translation, Lord Shri Krishna said, O mighty Ham, son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult. Krishna agreed to the fact that the mind is Krishna is the creator of the universe, is the one who created everything. Everything came from Krishna. Everything in this whole universe. So if Krishna is agreeing to the point that the mind is very difficult, we should understand what we are dealing with. Very, very important for us. Okay? Krishna is saying here, Krishna is not telling Arjuna, say, no, Arjuna, why are you saying like this? No, the mind is easy. No. Krishna is saying, Arjuna, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind. I know, Arjuna, I know what you are saying. But it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment. So Krishna is giving us encouragement that, yes, I know the mind is restless and turbulent and obstinate and very strong. Yes, I know. I created the mind for the conditioned soul. Yes, I created it because they want to be in this prison house. I have to give them something to play with. I created it. I know it's restless, it's obstinate. They want to be like me. So I've given them this toy to play with. Yes. Okay. But Krishna is saying by suitable practice and by detachment, we can conquer the mind. So let's go through Prabhupada's purport in this here. and see how much we can go in this. Then tomorrow we continue. Gora Shakti Prabhu, I've not had it today. Yeah, Prabhu, go ahead.
Okay. Purport. The difficulty of controlling the obstinate mind, as expressed by Arjuna, is accepted by the personality of Godhead. But at the same time, he suggests that by practice and detachment, it is possible. What is that practice? In the present age, no one can observe the strict rules and regulations of placing oneself in a sacred place, focusing the mind on the super soul, restraining the senses and mind, observing celibacy, remaining alone, and so on. By the practice of Krishna consciousness, however, one engages in 9 types of devotional service to the Lord. The first and foremost of such devotional engagements is hearing about Krishna. This is a very powerful transcendental method for purging the mind of all misgivings. The more one hears about Krishna, the more one becomes enlightened and detached from everything that draws the mind away from Krishna. By detaching the mind from activities not devoted to the Lord, one can very easily learn vairagya. Vairagya means detachment from matter and engagement of the mind in spirit. Impersonal spiritual detachment is more difficult than attaching the mind to the activities of Krishna. This is practical because by hearing about Krishna, one becomes automatically attached to the Supreme Spirit. This attachment is called Paresanubhava, spiritual satisfaction. It is just like a feeling of satisfaction a hungry man has for every morsel of food he eats. The more one eats while hungry, the more one feels satisfaction and strength. Similarly, by discharge of devotional service, one feels transcendental satisfaction as the mind becomes detached from material objectives. It is something like curing a disease by expert treatment and appropriate diet. Hearing of the transcendental activities of Lord Krishna is therefore expert treatment for the mad mind. And eating the foodstuff offered to Krishna is the appropriate diet for the suffering patient. This treatment is a process of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. So you see, Prabhupada has given us the proper practice and the how to be detached from the mind. Because you see, he says, hearing of transcendental activity of the Lord is therefore the expert treatment for the mad mind. Our mind is always mad. And eating the foodstuff offered to Krishna is the appropriate diet. So the treatment, the medicine is hearing about Krishna. And the diet is taking Krishna prasadam. There's a very nice verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Shivata Swakata Krishna, Punya Shavanam Ketanam. Ridiantasto hib badrani vidunote suri satam. It is mentioned that Shri Krishna, the personality of God, who is this Paramatma, the super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of a truthful devotee, cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of a devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. So hearing about Krishna is the treatment. So we have to be serious to hear. The more we study these books, we hear about Rich Srimad Bhagavatam, Rich Bhagavad Gita, the more we are treating our mad mind, the less we read, the more our mind will be taking control of us. Nashta prayeshu abadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. We hear this every morning. Nashta prayeshu abadreshu. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke. Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. Nashta prayeshu abadreshu. By hearing Nityam Bhagavata, by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and service to the pure devotees. All the abadras, the impurities in our heart, in the mind, that is making the mind to be mad, to be restless, turbulent, obstinate, will be cleansed. An irrevocable service, devotional service to Krishna will be established. So hearing, like Prabhupada emphasized so much in the purport, hearing about Krishna is the remedy, is the appropriate practice. So please, when you are giving assignments, please go and read. If you don't read, means you are not curbing your restless mind. You should find time. Let's say, for example, you are so busy throughout the whole day. At least you can give like 1 hour before going to bed. Read and do the assignment. Many of us, on our free time, we prefer to scroll on Facebook and YouTube than to read. And in this way, our mind will become give us more troubles. You know? So we have, if we analyze our time, we will see that there's some time that we are misusing. That time we are misusing is the time for us to study. Because all Prabhupada mentioned in this purport, the treatment is what? What did Prabhupada say? What is the treatment? I'm asking a question now. What is the treatment?
Yeah.
To Prabhupada?
Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. Hearing about Krishna. Like what Prabhupada say, hearing about Krishna. So the more we hear, we purify our mind and chant and take Krishna prasadam. Ata Shri Krishna namadi nababe greyam indriyai. Seba moke ijiva do soya meva sporatiada. We cannot understand anything about Krishna, his name, his activity, his pastime, because our senses, they are blunt. Our restless mind is disturbing us. But Seba moke, by engaging in the service, taking Krishna prasadam and chanting the holy name of Krishna, soya meva sporatiada, Krishna reveal himself to the devotee. So the more we are eager to hear about these scriptures, but mode of ignorance will not allow us. The mode of ignorance will tell us to go and sleep, or to go on Facebook, to go to YouTube, instead of hearing about Krishna. Because these three modes, they are the one controlling everything in this world. I was thinking of making some presentation about the three modes of material nature. The three modes is always controlling us. The three modes will always want us to do something else other than hearing about Krishna. The passion will always trying to make us to go here, go there, do this, do that. Those things that are not even very, good for us. The ignorance will tell us, go and sleep, go and sleep. You are very tired, go and sleep. Only when we are in the goodness, Jamasami is laughing. Only when you are in the goodness that you want to study. Only those in the goodness wants to read about Krishna. So whatever we are doing is to at least bring us to a little mode of goodness so that we can hear about Krishna. Because the more we develop attraction, Shrivata Swakata Krishna, the more we develop attachment to hearing about Krishna, to that extent, we'll be free from our turbulent mind to our mad mind, as Prabhupada call it in the purport. So the key to our salvation is developing desire to hear about Krishna. That is the key. That is the key to salvation. The more we develop attachment to hearing, to that extent we become purified, to that extent we become liberated. So let us take hearing, we should not make this our study only Saturday program. Let us give 1 hour every day. No matter how busy you are, you will have 1 hour every day to read. Let us set aside 1 hour every day, or if you have more time, 2 hours to reading these scriptures, Very, very important. Just like you eat every day. Take this reading serious like eating every day. Because this reading is the food for the soul, is the only thing that can free us from our madman mind. Let us take it serious. Very, very important, please. Okay? Yes, approval, Prabhu. You have a question or comment? Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. You are muted.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So please, you were explaining something earlier. It's not, you made a passing comment that we don't there is no what's it called, testimony time in ISKCON and stuff like that. So my question is it an offense, or why? How is it kind of a rule, or probably is it not going to maybe enhance people knowing how Krishna does and what? So I'm very curious to know why there is no testimony.
Actually, when you are listening to devotee preaching, you get their testimony. That's, we call it experience. They share their experience on the part of devotional service. When you hear devotees speaking in Srimad Bhagavatam or giving lecture, that is when, it's not like church where it's like organized or people line up to come and give testimony. No. But when devotees are preaching, they share their experience, which is like equal to their testimony, like that.
Okay.
So when you are speaking, you are allowed to do that, to share your experience with other devotees. Yeah.
Okay. And so probably you ask some other person maybe to share if there is need. Is it?
Like whenever you are asked to give presentation, like tomorrow I've told you, you should give a presentation. Whenever you are asked to give presentation, you can always share your experience. It's part of it.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Stephen Govinda, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, my question is quite controversial, and it has been ringing in my ears for a few days now, and I would really be grateful if you can help me with this understanding. Yes.
We have only 1 minute.
Actually, you have to extend it a bit because my question alone is almost 2 minutes.
No. Go ahead, because we came late,
Yes, probably. Yes, so I understand there's this big drama going on. Krishna coming as Lord Narasimhadev, Lord Ram, Lord Parashurama, and Kamsa being the enemy or the demon king. So there's this drama which is being organized by Yoga Maya, and we living entities, we are also playing with drama organized by Mahamaya. So at first we used to believe that our enemy is illusion or Maya, but then later we find out that this same Maya is also another energy of Krishna, working for Krishna. Actually, he's actually performing his devotional service. So now you ask yourself, who is really the enemy, and what is the main purpose of this whole big drama that is going on? How should we actually, we're supposed to enjoy it, but unfortunately when this drama happens, we are bewildered, and sometimes the drama looks funny, sometimes it gets crazy because horrible things happen. So I'm trying to understand this whole drama, like what is all this thing about, and how can we devotees who have come to this platform of understanding can actually enjoy the drama and not become bewildered when the drama gets thicker. Hare Krishna.
That is the problem. The problem is that you want to enjoy it. And we cannot really enjoy it. Because the supreme enjoyer is Krishna. He's the one who's supposed to be enjoying the whole drama, but you want to enjoy the drama. No. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. Whatever is happening is all part of, Lila is the bigger picture. We are supposed to surrender to him and be the servants, not try to enjoy. But the thing that is here is that unless our mind become purified, actually we cannot live free from this illusion we are talking about. Because the illusion, the illusory energy of Krishna is so powerful. Like Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Devi Esha Guna Maya Mama Maya Duratiyaya. Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita very clearly. See, this my illusory energy is very difficult to overcome. Duratiyaya. Okay? So for devotees, they are not trying to enjoy the drama. They're just trying to please Krishna by serving Krishna. Because this is not our real home. Why do we want to be here? Why do we want to enjoy what is going on here? It's not our real home. Here is like a prison house. And the person in charge of the prison house is Durga Devi. So Krishna say, Devi Esha Gunamayi. Devi Esha Gunamayi, Mama Maya Durate. So this energy, this material energy is mine. It's my energy. So we should not try to enjoy it. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 7, text 5, Krishna says, the superior energy is trying to exploit the material energy. And so we get complicated because we think that this Krishna illusory energy is for our own enjoyment. Actually, it's not. That is the complication. It's not for our enjoyment. It's for Krishna's enjoyment. Whatever is happening in the material world and the spiritual world is meant for Krishna's enjoyment. But because we think we want to become like Krishna, we think it's for our own enjoyment. That is the mistaken. So the more we realize that our original nature is to enhance Krishna's enjoyment, to arrange for Krishna's enjoyment, to surrender to Krishna, unless we realize this deeply, we can never be happy. Okay, so this illusory energy of Krishna is just like we have the internal energy of Krishna. The Yoga Maya, we have Mahamaya and Yoga Maya. All these Mayas, they are for Krishna's enjoyment, not for our enjoyment. The mistaken is that we think that we can enjoy a particular one. No. The more you try, the more frustrated you become. So that is the text we have read today. It said already realize this. So it's just trying to help devotees. It's just trying to help everyone so that they can understand that you cannot truly enjoy. So the Maya energy is serving Krishna. It's Krishna's enjoyment. Just if you study creation, you will see Krishna is lying down in the Kosa ocean and he's sleeping and he's dreaming. So whatever is going on in this material world is his dream. It's for his own enjoyment. Why do you think you can enjoy it? Everything is about Krishna. We have to be humble. That is why humility is the first. When you reach chapter 13, when you come to chapter 13, Krishna will list out all the characteristics of knowledge. The first is humility. We have to be humble. We have to become humble to realize that we are insignificant, infinitesimal. Our duty is to serve and surrender. Until we understand this very deeply, our endeavor will be frustrated. We always meet with frustration, anxiety, depression. We have to realize deeply that we should surrender and facilitate Krishna enjoyment. That is why he has created us. Any tinge of trying to compete with him, we should give it up. Unless we realize this, we cannot be happy. Gora Shakti Prabhu, I didn't hear your voice today. Did I offend you?
Hare Krishna.
You unmute yourself, Gora Shakti Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. No,
yeah.
I'm thinking about how not to miss my work again, my homework again. So I will never do it next time.
Yeah, please. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you for accepting that there should not be any excuse. Thank you for accepting that. Yeah, because we just have to give 1 hour, 2 hours. We will find time somewhere. For us to make advancement in spiritual life, some sacrifice is needed. Just for us, because in the material world, we have so many hours in a day to do our work, maybe 9 hours a day or 8 hours to do our work. The remaining hours that we have for ourselves, we should find some time for spiritual advancement. It's very, very important. So by reading these books, doing this assignment, that is where the spiritual advancement will come from. Okay? Thank you very much, Babu. So I think we will stop here. We are 7 minutes ahead of time. Thank you, everyone. And tomorrow, we should try to come earlier so that we can go far. So we stop today in a test number
85.
85. So from 36, already I've given some assignments. Please, we should take it very serious. What happened to unsuccessful yogi? Go and read it. I want a presentation, how you understand it. Your knowledge and understanding is very, very important. So please go and read what happened to unsuccessful yogi. So it means that you should, when we stop today till you get to that point, and maybe beyond that, so that you can understand clearly. And come here tomorrow. You'll be given 3 minutes to speak. I want to hear what you understand. And when you study the scripture, whatever you understand, that is you take with you. That will become your realization in the future. Okay? It's very, very important. If you're just reading, we are reading through, and you just read, you will not pick anything. You will just go through the years and come out. But once you take your own time to read and understand, it will remain with you for the rest of your life. Hare Krishna. So meet same time tomorrow. Okay.